And we are back with Lisa Waters Lane in the studio. She comes each week, and we just give this segment to her to share a different perspective, a softer perspective, more beautiful perspective.
Okay.
Okay.
No pressure.
So inspire us all.
Okay.
Plus, it's just good to have all these shows, all these radio shows, all these podcasts are just one guy on there going, well, let me tell you, some Farmer Joe who's telling you how to garden agriculturally for the best grape production or more tomatoes per acre. And that's not who's tuned in here. These are backyard. I call them yardners. They're gardening in the yard, and they just kind of they're gardening. It's not, I just made that word up, but it's not agriculture. It's not just landscaping. It's I want to have a beautiful place. So
Definitely.
You help us with that.
Yeah, I'll try.
What do you got for us this week?
The first thing I wanted to hit, I brought some friends in with me today.
Some friends.
So these are our ladybugs. We got our ladybugs in. You can kind of.
Let's see if I can get for the folks that are tuned in on the traditional radio waves.
You're like, what are they
you
talking
can't
about?
see this, but everyone else, the YouTube and the podcast folks, you can see that. See them all crawling around. Isn't that cool?
So we definitely got our ladybugs in. We also have worms. So if you want some worms for your soil, and we are also getting the praying mantis in as well. So just really nice beneficials to put out in your yard, help take care of aphids and other insects. So just a good one to have around. So we do have them in.
I'm trying to read. There's a lot of ladybugs. I would think they would count them, name them, and put barcodes on them or something. But there's hundreds of ladybugs in here. And it says release them in the evening. Right. So that is a secret. So you put them out when it's dark, because ladybugs don't fly at night. They only fly during the day. And so you put them out there in the evening. They stick around where the plant is, and they eat their way through the aphids and thrip and that kind of stuff. And then in the morning, they'll stay there until all the food's gone, and they have wings, and they fly off. They're looking for the next food source, and they don't do it in a colony. They do it individually.
Right.
So they're off. They just scatter by themselves. They'll lay some eggs. You'll get some of the larva stage, which is like this dragon-looking thing. It's funky. Pretty cool. Yep. So anyway.
Anywho, even if they're not going to always stay in your yard, but hey, you're doing great things for the environment because they're going to go to your neighbors and the neighbors. So a great one to put out.
I would say they do stay in your yard. Everyone just wants them to congregate
so they see them all at once. Yeah,
they want to see them all together. But for sure, if you release ladybugs in your yard, you will see ladybugs the rest of the year. You'll just see them onesie twosies. They'll light on your shoulder at a barbecue, but they're not going to do it as a horde, as a cohort.
Well, thank heavens.
That'd be funky. They are cool. Anyway.
Yeah. So this week, of course, the forsythia bloomed out. So everybody's seeing those around town. In our nursery yard, in the store yard, the lilacs are starting to bloom.
Yeah.
So I just trimmed the blossom.
You did not cut that off.
I did.
That's a $40-$50 plant we could have sold.
Well,
but now you cut the flower
in
off.
About 20 blossoms. So I cut one off because I wanted to bring it in and show. This is Old Glory. You can tell it's that dark purple.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, it
smells wonderful.
So
entire
good.
studio smells delicious.
So right now we have the Old Glory, which you can see is that kind of deep purple. We have Pocahontas, which is kind of a maroon purple. Blue Skies, which is kind of a light purple. But they're all either just budding, budding out, or they're like in days, they're going to be doing it. So you got to come in, even if you don't want a lilac, come in and smell.
Yeah, it's
the
inspiring.
Lilacs.
It's kind of like a rose.
Inspiring.
So now we should describe this a little bit for those folks that maybe are listening to the podcast or just the airwaves.
Okay.
This is a flower that's probably 7-8 inches long. It's pentacle in shape. It's got these spires to it. It's covered in flowers. Probably this one, branch has got 40 or 50 flowers on it. Each one's about the size of just smaller than a dime. And as it opens, this fragrance just emits throughout the entire landscape. So this will fill up an entire patio or entire entrance or front yard, just one plant. We've got them in white, purple, blues,
variegated.
Yeah, the sensation is this red with a white variegation. They all smell good. And then this is the big one. So Old Glory is a big lilac. It gets easily, head high plus, maybe as far 8-10 feet.
Yeah.
10's a bit optimistic, about 8-9 feet. And then there's dwarf varieties that have the same color variations, reds and purples, pinks, and they stay about hip high. Right. And the flower's about half of this size. So it'll be maybe 4 or 5 inches long instead of 7 or 8, but it has more flowers covering the plant. And many of the dwarf varieties repeat bloom. They come back over and over and over throughout the year. So, and that's lilacs,
which they're again animal resistant.
They are,
correct.
Yep.
The deer, javelina, bunnies, not really going to mess with them out in the yard.
Very drought hardy. I mean, they got a taproot. They got a real deep root structure, which makes them as hardy as a Colorado spruce or a pine tree. It makes them that tough, way hardier, more robust than a birch or an aspen or maples. This thing's rough. It's just tough, and it blooms.
It's a beautiful. You really do need them in the yard. And I think you mentioned earlier the forsythia and the lilacs are great companion plants, because that forsythia is going to bloom first, and right on its heels is going to be the lilacs. And then you've got 2-3 months of just blooming color that's fragrant and lovely. And
who doesn't want that?
I don't know.
Spring fragrance, beauty for 2-3 months. I mean, I want 3 of those.
Right. So definitely come and check those out, even if you just don't think, come in and smell them.
I can't say with lilac, because I've killed a couple of them. If you're planting this, it needs a soil that drains. So if you all are out in that valley area or that hard compacted clay, get a bag of mulch.
Oh, definitely.
It's just going to make a difference. You'll just need it. You add compost or mulch, premium mulch, to that heavy clay soil. It's going to keep the soil from compacting right back down. You add organics, you're changing the structure of the soil so the roots can get through it. So it keeps it lighter and fluffier. If you don't do that, it won't die. It just sit there and it won't bloom. It won't die. It won't grow. It just sits there looking at you, mocking at you. If you want flowers, you've got to make sure the roots can get out, and you got to fertilize it regularly to get these beautiful fragrant flowers.
Definitely. And they like the full sun too.
So at least 6 hours.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to do that. And then now we also have blooming around town. Some of our blooming trees are going. So I think the plums, ornamental plums, went a couple weeks ago. They have that light pink blossom. A lot of the red buds, I can tell, I mean, they're close to popping.
They're right there.
Crab apples have started to bloom. So I brought in, this is called Spring Snow crab apple. It's a white crab apple.
Does it smell good? It does, yeah. So, you can tell if it's a lilac or the crab apple.
So this is the Spring Snow crab. This one's a little smaller. It's great for those small yards. Gets about 15 feet tall. Perfect for those small yards. Or you just want to sneak one in. It's a great one. Also in bloom are the radiant crab apples, which have a really dark pink blossom to them. Royal raindrops, which is a deep
that's pretty
magenta. Royal raindrops, one of my favorite. They're also in bloom. Just simply gorgeous trees, low maintenance trees. You're not going to have to do a lot of trimming, shaping, pruning on them. And they like it here. They like our area. So definitely ones to be looking for to put in. I should have clipped more, but you always get mad.
No, this is like, this is so, it's kind of fun. So we're starting to do the radio show in front of a camera. So it's just that's the thing to do now. So, okay, we'll try it. But it's fun talking on the radio on the airwaves with a video camera. You could just play with the plants. They're just jumping across the screen. It's beautiful.
It's fragrant. At all.
I know, No.
So lots of really cool things in bloom. A lot of the candy tuft and the perennials are out and blooming. Dianthus, oh my gosh, they're going crazy
they're going nuts.
Now. So a lot of things are just going, spring's here now, I'm ready to go.
Well, Lisa, thank you for sharing the spring blooming things you can have you can plant your yard right now. Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners, come see us at Waters Garden Center. We'll show you firsthand what we've been talking about. Be right back.